Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets. All right, so like I said, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets and holy, this roster. The first time I'm looking at it, and it is very, very bad. This Brooklyn Nets roster is wow. If Cam Thomas is starting at shooting guard, that is criminally bad, man. Like Cam Thomas is one of those guys who I think he's a point guard and a point guard only. Like I don't want him at any other position. My only way I see Cam Thomas being what I want him to be is if he could, develop as a playmaker, which he has done as a 2.9 assists for Cam Thomas is a drastic improvement because at the end of the season I remember he had games where he was averaging like 5, man. Let's check it out. At the end of the season, he was he had 5, 6, he started passing the ball a little piece, and 6'4", 7'6", Cam Thomas just put him at point guard. Hope he gets better at passing because this man's scoring is phenomenal, man. Like Cam Thomas, the score is phenomenal. Just keep him at point guard. Get Dennis Schroeder on the bench. Get him up out of here. Get his trade value up. Then Dennis Schroeder is an asset on this team, man. Like just get him up out of here right now. Because he is a positive player and should be on a contending team. That's why I say it like that. Because I do think Dennis Schroeder is pretty decent, but I don't want him and Cam Thomas as a backcourt. That is so annoying, but that's probably what the Nets do. Eel, man. Cam Johnson is a player who I like. Last year, I'm pretty sure he was battling injuries last year. But Cam Johnson is pretty decent. Yeah, 58 games last year. I mean, he played enough, honestly. That's about how many games he gives you a season. So hopefully he could have a healthy year coming into this season, healthier than he has in the rest of his career. But he is a real good 3-point shooter. That's why I like him. He's a 6'8" sniper, and that's very valuable because next to Cam Thomas and stuff, maybe you ask him to play shooting guard just to be a big shooting guard next to Cam Thomas. You have Cam Thomas at the 1, Cam Johnson at the 2, Boyan at the 3, but he's hurt, Dorian Finney-Smith at the 3. Daron Sharp, dude. Daron Sharp is a guy who I think Daron Sharp is somebody who should be getting minutes. Do you start him at power forward, man? But that spacing is bad, but the height and the defense is better. But like, what are the Nets trying to do? Are they really a team that's trying to win games, or are they trying to get their players assets up like Dennis Schroeder? He starts, shows teams what he's capable of, and you flip him, but at the same time, Daron Sharp is a 22-year-old on your team that's shown like he could be a good center in the league at 6'9". It just let him play power forward. The spacing is gonna be bad, but I would buy into Daron Sharp more than I buy into Dennis Schroeder. But at the same time, Dennis Schroeder is a point guard that just needed in this offense. I understand that, but honestly, we suck. I'm just gonna put all the responsibility on Cam Thomas. Why not? And then Dennis Schroeder off the bench, he could come in and ease things if Cam Thomas wasn't doing a good job type. But yeah. Honestly, I would start Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Daron Sharp, Nick Claxton. That spacing in the front court, yeah, that is super iffy. But hey, Cam Thomas is just gonna shoot grenades and have two great rebounders in the game with Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam Thomas, who are gonna be, positive defenders next to him. Yeah. And then Ben Simmons, if he could come and save Cam Thomas and, be a small forward or just be plugged into this lineup, whatever position you want to put him at, hey, now we talk. Hey, we ain't gonna talk about Ben Simmons too much though. He always does this. It's preseason. Do it in the regular season. I ain't even asking for the playoffs, man. This ain't a playoff team. Do it in the regular season, kid. Like, holy, what's Ben Simmons been doing? Because I haven't been keeping up, man. Like, Has he been playing in the preseason? I feel like I've seen him, but yeah, good reason for me not to talk about Ben Simmons. We did enough talk about him. I can't even find the stats. Boyan, is his career over? Is his career over, man? He's on the Nets, man. Maybe he's a guy who's gonna come in and take that shooting guard role that I'm looking for, because this team does need some spacing in that lineup that I plugged in with Daron Sharp. But Daron Sharp is hurt himself. Oh my goodness. Nah, Dennis Schroeder. I mean, to begin the season, yeah, is the best option, honestly. But there are a couple of different ways that you could have this lineup be pieced together. I mean, right now this probably is the best way, honestly. But when players are healthy, Daron Sharp is somebody to look out for on the Nets. He's a great rebounder. He seems like a solid hustle player. And I mean, a team that has nothing, having some light with a player like that is pretty decent. Noah Clowney seems like a similar player to him, but with a little bit more of a 3-pointer on him. But yeah, this next team, man, ain't too much to talk about, man. We're already to that point on the roster where we're talking about guys like Noah Clowney and Daron Sharp. Really? The biggest thing that happened for them this offseason was that amazing trade they did. That trade where they got their picks back from Houston for the James Harden trade. They're gonna be able to, tank this year. And like I'm saying, look at this roster, bro. Like there is no upside on this team. Everyone I'm talking about besides Cam Thomas is like, eh. Nick Claxton is a guy who, with the rise of Daron Sharp, maybe he could be an asset because of how good he is, and you're not going to be able to have him at the prime of his career. But at the same time, a player like Nick Claxton, I would just keep him. I would keep him and then see what I could get for like Daron Sharp, because I know Nick Claxton's a good player when he has like other players around him. Like when he was around KD and Kyrie, yeah, he was playing really well, man. Maybe it's because it's KD and Kyrie though, huh? But I mean, as a team, that's the type of players you look for to be a contender. Like they need another tier one player if they ever want to be a championship team, and that's what you're gonna have to pair Nick Claxton next to, because he's not that guy. Is Cam Thomas that guy? I mean, I doubt it, but like Cam Thomas is nice, man. Cam Thomas is nice. We're gonna see what he prevails himself into being, because man, if he becomes a better passer, man, he can become a lot for the Nets, man, because no matter what, he's a scorer. He is, yeah, lights out scorer, and that's something that is great to have. Cam Thomas could be a most improved player candidate this year, man. And I know that's crazy because he averaged what 22 last year, and I think he could become a better passer and average more points, because this next team is not that well. What would he have to do? Man, average like 26 and 5. Cam Thomas did that, man. He could be the most improved player in the league, bro. Oh man, Cam Thomas. This is Cam Thomas's franchise, man. It actually is at this point in time. And Nick Claxton, all you have to do with this team for the moment is find who's in between. You have your point guard, you have your center. What's in between that? This team is fun. This team is nice, but like it just they have two solid building blocks. Everything in between it is like, ugh. And Ben Simmons, this is like a perfect spot for him to like strive at, because that's exactly what I think he should be. He's like the perfect in between guy, but he's not playing. Cam Johnson, I think he's a perfect. This team, it makes sense, but it's just not talented. I'm just chatting at this point. The Brooklyn Nets probably the worst team in the Eastern Conference, and I'm trying to like convince myself to like boost y'all fans' heads up that like to watch games. But no, I'm chatting about the Nets, man. This is a team that's gonna be a bottom 3 seed in the East. That's a lock, but I think they're gonna be the worst team. Them or the Wizards, but we'll see when it happens. Shout out Brooklyn Nets fans. Shout out to y'all, because if you listen this far into the video, you from Brooklyn, baby. You gotta be, man, because this team is cooked. Or you're just an NBA fiend. And if you're an NBA fiend, or even if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, check out the rest of my videos where I'm diving into these teams and we talking about all these rosters. Because hey, you see, I know a lot about your team. So if you want to go in and check out other rosters and hear my thoughts about those teams, go ahead and do that. And everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a nice day and God bless.